Welcome. So here is what I've been doing for Bellwork this year, considering Bellwork's a little bit different now that teachers are changing rooms instead of students. And I need the students for do something, or I need the students to be able to do something while I'm getting logged into the computer and opening everything. And so what I've done is I've made like a static Bellwork on my Google Classroom. And what it is basically just a Google form that the students know to go to every day. And there will be a Bellwork question there. So what I did is I first created a Google form that's pretty standard, which is Bellwork. What they do is they come here, they open it up, and they will then fill out what group they are in. So the first question here is what group, and I made those all go to different sections. So for example, if you click on 7A, it'll bring you to the 7A section, and then I have all of the students' names listed in here. They will click and select their student name. And then, right, the key and important point here is after this section, so they don't go to like the 7B section or something like that. After section 2, right, I set it so that it goes to the Bellwork question, right? So they don't skip to section 3, they go automatically to where the actual Bellwork question is. You'll see how that works. If you don't know how to add sections, it's actually quite easy. You can add sections by clicking over here, and it makes it really nice because they just go from one screen to the next in the form, and they can skip around. And with this, you can kind of control where they are going there. So these are the two main important things there. Clear my screen. So then after they select their name and student, right, it will bring them all the way down to the Bellwork question, which is section 7. Right, and you can obviously do a variety of things because this is a Google form. So you can do multiple choice, you can do checkboxes, you can do open response, right? Basically anything. And this is what I change every day. So again, every day it's the same exact Google form that they go to. I just change the Bellwork question in the morning. Okay, so today's is quite simple. They're working on a project, and so what they need to do is to basically select what they need to work on. Everybody else is kind of in a different spot, and so they need to select what they work on just so that they're kind of starting to think to plan their day. What the student sees, which is really cool, so let me clear my screen, and we'll go to the preview here. Oops. Okay, there we go. So we'll go to the student preview. And so what the student sees is really cool. It records their email there. They'll select their group. So let's say I'm in 7A, then I will hit next. Then let's say I'm student 3, right? I will hit next. And finally, I have my things I need to answer, right? So I will submit that. The students can also choose to send themselves a copy of the responses if they wanted, which is really nice. So again, right, it works very well. I'm going to do a few of these just so I can show you how then I can grade Bellwork here. So give me a second, and I'm going to fill out a bunch of these. Let's do 3 again. Let's do that. Okay, all right, let's do another response. Okay, so then what's really cool about doing this in Google Forms is it makes it really easy to customize your sheet. So obviously you can look at the summary of your questions and things like that, but this is going to eventually turn kind of messy because you're changing all the questions and things like that. So I think the responses tab in Google Forms is actually quite bad. But the really cool thing is in Sheets, you can open it. So to look at your responses in Sheets, so again, all of the student answers, you'll get a default, page like this, which again, the first day you're going to do this is going to look kind of cool and it's okay, but it's eventually going to get messy. So again, it'll record all the students' email addresses, their group, and then whatever name they are. So I filled out 3 for 7A and 3 for 7D. However, if I want to show this in class and if I want to respond to kind of what students did, I need to know what it is by classes. So for example, I can actually sort by 7A here. I can sort them automatically into different sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add new tabs down. Oh, wait. Why is this not moving? There we go. I don't know why I have 2 of these, but okay. So I'm going to add new tabs that I can automatically sort to. So I'm going to add a new sheet there. And we're going to title this new sheet 7A. All right. Then what we'll be able to do within 7A is I will actually be able to sort from form responses 1 into 7A by using this, right, code here, right, this code here. And I will then paste it into the 7A sheet here. right, up in the top left here. And basically what this does is, again, it automatically sorts for me there. Okay, so it says query, it sorts from form responses 1 and selects all this information, and you can kind of play around with it. So for example, right, this one says any response where, oops, sorry. So any response where column C, right, says 7A gets automatically sorted into this document, okay, or into this piece. The key here, right, is this code, which I'll put in the description of this video so that you guys are able to copy and paste that. And again, now I can pull this up in 7A during class and read, and I'll say, okay, student 3 needs to put together everything in their brochure, cite my images, and I can use that to check in, or I can show it on the board, or whatever. There's that there. And I can also do it for 7D as well, right? So I can add all of my responses in 7D. So again, I'll create a new tab down here, and I'll be able to paste that same thing in there. But I will need to change it, because right now this one, right, says where C equals 7A, right, because that's the option for C. All I have to do to bring 7Ds in here is change this to 7D, right? And then I will hit enter, and now it will bring in all of the responses from 7D. And again, you'll see that these are different. So I have student 4, student 1, and student 2 from 7D. And so these will get eventually really long, but it's a really cool thing to be able to pull up in class. Also, it's a really easy way to hold kids accountable for doing Bellwork, because I can see who has done it. I can sort, I can search within this. I could even grade Bellwork this way, just in terms of participation and stuff like that, because you can sort by all the different columns and things like that. So for example, if I wanted to grade basically just participation for Bellwork, and if I wanted to say, okay, for out of every 10 Bellwork you were supposed to do, if you've done 9 or 10, you'll get a 100. If you've done 7 or 8, you'll get an 85. And again, that's easy to sort through. You can just search through, and you can sort the sheet and things like that. And so that's what I've been using this year for Bellwork. I hope this is helpful for you. And again, like I said, what I'll do today is I will paste this this code in there so that you guys can use this as well in your Google Sheets to be able to sort on the bottom. But otherwise, thank you.